being here tonight, and I'm just glad it wasn't last night when I suspect there might have been rather fewer people here. I'm here to introduce you to the Happy Baby community. I firstly just want to say a very big thank you to our sponsor Annie, who has been enormously kind in nominating us for this. I really want to introduce you to my very big family, and a very special family. 5 years ago, after many years working at Freedom from Torture and the Helen Bamber Foundation, I realised that we were seeing more and more women who came to ask for support in the last stages of their pregnancy. These women talked about being afraid and isolated. They spoke about feeling unvalued and stigmatised by the statutory services they met. And most of all, like any other mum, they wanted an opportunity to provide a safe place for their babies and where their families could thrive. These women have survived terrible and unimaginable brutality, fled from their countries, from traffickers, from terrorists, and from violence and cruelty. The details of their experiences are too grim to describe now, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about Effie, one of the babies in our group. I was 48 when I first met Effie. My own 3 daughters had all gone off to university, and I was really missing my babies. And I was remembering how much I needed friends when I had my children. So I just thought, let's see what happens if we get everyone together and if we can build a community that will support each other. Effie was one of the first babies in our community. Her mum was living in home office accommodation with an allowance of £35 a week. She fled the brutality inflicted on women in northern Uganda, and she was an amazing mum, struggling with many emotional and physical challenges. Our community started meeting every Wednesday afternoon, 5 mums from 5 different parts of the world, and it was December, and Effie was 1 month old. She was little and it was very cold, and she arrived in a little summer dress with no coat. We all took it in turns to give her a hug, and the group sorted through a bag of donations and dressed Effie in the cosiest clothes we could find. And at the end of that, it was clear we had all become a little community of mums, of sisters and friends, and that we would be able to welcome other people. Well, that was 5 years ago. My babies. We're now a community of 250 mums, over 300 babies and children. Effie's now in her last year of school, in her first year of school, and her mum is in her last year of nursing training. We have 2 sites, one in North London, one in South London. We have 13 partners. Quickly list them with partners. Those are our midwives who come to the group. The partners provide everything from lunch, food parcels, clothing, English lessons, yoga, antenatal care, medical care, etc., etc. I've asked Wafia and Ceci is going to say something at the end. They're some of our leading members of the community. Wafia.
Hi, good evening. My name is Wafia. I'm from Nigeria. I have 4 kids. 2 of them are here. It's a twins girl. They are just 5 months. I want to tell you about the Happy Baby community. It gave me an opportunity to be part of Safe Home community, which has become my second family. They keep me safe and support me with a lot of things. As learning English, they give us some very nice food and even clothes for the children, and they even pay for us the traveling when we go to the community. I have session with the counselor. The group saved me my life and the life of my children. When I had to cope with many challenges, I wish all women who suffered like me can have the same opportunity to be safe in our community. I really hope that I will be able to become one of the leaders on the Happy Baby community in future. And I have degrees in technical banking, and I believe that the community is a way to helping women feel strong again and able to get a skill, and that they can get a job and support their children to be successful. Thank you.
Every week, more than 90 pregnant women and new mums come to the sessions at the Happy Baby community. Every week we have new referrals from women who've been dumped by traffickers days before giving birth, women who've escaped from horrific actions of organisations like Boko Haram in Nigeria and the brutal regimes in Eritrea, women who've been sold as wives, as commodities, as slaves. The community is now going into its 6th year, and some of the women, like Wafia and Ceci, who you're going to hear in a minute, are keen to take on roles to run the expanding community. Ceci. I'm going to say very quickly, our costs are very basic. We have 2 asks. Each session costs £700 a week. That supports 90 women and babies each week. We want to pay the members of the community to take on the leadership roles, and there's going to be an additional cost of £6,000 per community per year. The second ask is we have outgrown our very helpful partner charity and want to set up a charity of our own, and we're asking for some help, some legal help setting that up, and for some mentoring help for our women to become trustees. Ceci.
Come. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ceci. I've been a member of the Happy Baby community for some years now. Before the Happy Baby community, I've been through a lot of difficulties and hardship in my life with no firm support from anyone. But since coming to the Happy Baby community, my life has become a lot more easier. I got to meet new people, I got to form new friendships, which I hardly do in my private life, because trusting people was one of the hardest things for me. The support, the love, the care and respect we get there is very massive. I cannot say how thankful my son, I and all the other women at the community are to Lucy, to Jill, to Emily, to Beverly and to Manny, as words are not enough to show our gratitude. They've worked tirelessly to put a smile on our faces. The group has opportunities for educational activities like learning English, working, self-defense. It also has social activities like swimming and yoga. Plus it offers emotional support with advice and counseling. Our children also get nappies, clothes, shoes, name it. Without the Happy Baby community, I personally wouldn't have survived, or I wouldn't have known how my son and I would have survived, because they've been there for us non-stop. And we're hoping, like, in the nearest future, probably I'll become a leader. I don't know, to give back, basically. I'll say that they've been our family, because, they've been our stronghold. Thank you.